So first of all, I just want to say, not green screen, really, really, really real. It just looks divine on camera. And I mean, right now I'm actually in Zimbabwe. And the other day I did a video from the front of the house. This is the back of the house. And just let me just scooch over a little bit. What's not to love? Palm trees, blue sky. But to be fair, Africa is moving into its springtime, especially Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is the most beautiful time of the year about now, because it's all just about renewal and, you know, and it just looks beautiful, you know? So yeah, I mean, like, I want to talk about Africa in general. Africa is just, has that energy that just takes one into their peaceful space. I mean, particularly, I mean, this house, yeah, I just moved into this house and it's what I call the creation codes. It takes me into that quiet space and then just the creation comes online and things just flow without all the busyness and the noise. But like I say, expanding out to the energy of Africa, that's Africa. Nobody has ever come to Africa and not been inspired by this place. No one at all, you know? So basically, you know, this place is where it all began, basically. You know, all human beings, we all incarnated through Africa. So you cannot come to this place and not feel a deep connection with the land. And you will either come and leave and be changed forever, or you'll come and you'll never leave. That's what happened to me. So many of us kind of like did that, you know? And yeah, it holds very, very, very powerful energy for many, many different reasons. But it's really that place where you want to come home. Africa is one of those places. So that moves me on to what I want to talk about today, is about stillness. Going to put both hands up for this. I'm the most busiest, mind orientated. I can be very achievement based, and it's like go, 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 go. So I have to really be very, very, very aware of where my energy is, and grounding is like, look, it's essential for all of us, but like it's imperative for me because I can pop off the planet. So I got to ground because I've got this energy that just runs, you know. And over the years, I have learned that if you're not in your body and you're not grounding your energy, then none of it means shit. You know what I mean? It's like you have to ground it. So the energy flows from the cosmos through you into the earth, and away we go. Cosmos, you earth, cosmos, you earth. And it's like that flowing water. Can we take a moment as to how effortlessly it runs into the pool, gets, you know, kind of like comes back in and then floats again. So it just has this cycle. So it's just like running water. We've got to flow. We cannot be like blocked pipes. So if we get stuck halfway down, no wonder we have a whole heap of problems to do with illness, to do with depression, to do with whatever it might be, you know, stagnancy, you know, money blocks, it all goes on, you know. So this kind of understanding of stillness stretches over many, many philosophies, and this is where we come back to the oneness thing again. You know, it's not just about the Indian belief, you know, as in Babaji Indian. It's not even the Red Indians, you know, the Native American Indians. It's not about the Egyptian understanding, whatever. Those are just all expressions of it, but it all comes from a place of oneness. They all understood oneness in the same way, that we all draw from the same stream of consciousness, which is stillness, where, if you think about it, like the trees, they don't worry about who's growing next to them. She's like, oh, look at her, she sprouted her leaves already. Well, I need to get mine on the go and be better than her. Do you know what I mean? They don't worry about whether the weather's going to change, whether the cycles move through. A tree is just a stoic, right? It's just like, it's anchored in, it's like got the roots into the earth, and it just naturally just moves through. All this chaos around it just naturally moves through. I'm always fascinated by oak trees because I'm like, what's happened over the years? All of the distortion, but yet here you still stand. So that is basically why we actually get encouraged to say, go back to nature, try and see the reflection of nature in you. So now getting practical with this, because it's all well and good kind of like saying that, and you're spending your days staring at trees going, I'm trying. No, nothing's changing. You know, we need to give ourselves some spiritual practical tools, right? So let's break it down. Okay, energy is always moving, right? It's got noise. The water, you can hear the water, right? The water is running. You can hear the sounds quite loud. It's energy. It's a hub, you know? It's moving though, right? So now if you go into this, so that's noise and that's energy. So that is all head stuff. That is like very, very busy, right? That is where a lot of us get stuck into, is the head. And that's where we want to get out of, right? Then what happens is we start to go through a bit of an awakening. We start to get a bit spiritual and in touch with that energy and know that we're not the head. And we're like, oh my God, I'm in my heart now. And we have a bit of a spiritual awakening, and we kind of like, we don't believe the hype anymore. And we're like, wow, spiritual books we read. We start to like, meditate and all this kind of stuff. And we have all of these aha moments. But the issue is we get stuck in the heart. And we think that that's the end game. It's not. There's a third level. There's a third stage. And we're going to get to that now. But what happens is we come out the noise into the heart, enlightened. However, we're still very much in our ego there, which means we are still from a head space, deciphering and discussing and dissecting the spiritual path. It's still very heady, right? Even here. So basically, what do we do with that? We all get stuck at the enlightenment stages, but that's still an ego-based way of being. We need to go into stillness. So the next place of stillness is coming right into the earth. Now, the Chinese philosophers, okay, you'll liken it to the Dantian. It is the Dantian. So I'm going to stand up now. The Dantian is not a chakra. The Dantian is found here. You place your left hand on it and you place your right hand over it. Now, that's the Chinese philosophy. I also understand it as the master cell. This is where it comes back to oneness. We were all born from one cell, right? Not just you. In fact, that actually happened in the birthing process. Not just you, but like the whole existence of humanity, the universe came from one single cell, right? So that goes back to that single cell that's in that place, right? Also, it's in the place of the womb, where you came through as that single cell and you were birthed and you grew. Very dark in there, very quiet, very peaceful, but it's the ultimate location for creation, right? Like that, location for creation. So you see where I'm going with this. So, you don't have to talk Dantian, you could just talk single cell. So we want to go back to the epicenter of where it all came from. And that is there, okay? Not a chakra. So now, when we drop into that space, and we literally, I liken it, it's like, excuse my analogies, but I liken it like a bath plug. So if you think about all this energy going on here, all this head stuff, then you're in your heart and you're like, there's still quite a lot of noise, but you're in the enlightenment stage, You got to go further. You take all of that and you let it just run in and down through the bath plug. So you pull the plug out and then all this energy kind of goes, and it runs through that space, through that portal, down through your legs, through your feet, and you just let it run into the ground. And then all of a sudden you will feel your system just go, but down here in this master cell, when you are sat quietly, placing your left hand in that space, and here, when you're sat there, there's no thought, there's no thing, there's nothingness, okay? There doesn't need to be thought there because you've got enough going on up here as it is. But this is the stage. Living in your head, you get enlightened. Open the heart portal. Yay you. Moving with speed now. Get into the end game. But the end game, there is no end game. We've got to go into the stillness because that's just another cycle. And then we come back and we just keep running our energy. Now, if we open our little plug hole and we allow the energy to just come into the stillness. So it's like a funnel. So it looks like that. So this is your Dantian. This is everything that is. If we allow that to come into that space, you don't have to worry about it, dissect it, whatever. No one cares because it's all about stillness. The trees don't care. The wind doesn't care. Do you know what I mean? The ground doesn't care. Think about the most stillest things in your life. They don't care, but they have got such longevity. They're infinite. They just go on and on and on. Do you know what I mean? Through their cycles, But we, as humans, are busy. We're mind orientated. We have to know. We've got to pick it apart. Even like from the spiritual aspect, we're in our heart and we're like, what's it all about? Enlightenment and questions. Whoa. And at the end of the day, all of these questions and all of this noise comes back to one thing, that the more you know, the less you know. Because why? You're moving more and more into stillness without even realizing it. But how about getting a little bit more proactive? So if you was to sit in stillness, I'm going to go back to here. So you can sit on the ground is better, but if you stand, placing your hand here, the Chinese philosophers call it qi, okay? So you want to run your qi, okay? So you want to run your energy. So it's basically like clear running water running through the pipes. If it gets stuck, it's going to be full of toxins. It's quite simple, isn't it? So if you place your hand in that space and all you do is focus in your mind's eye, all of your energy into that hand, when the hand is placed there, that's all you have to do, and just breathe into that space. you will naturally just feel everything fall through, you know, everything will just run, you know, and what will happen is you'll have no thought down there. Some days it might be a bit monkey mind, but that is the ultimate of stillness. It takes practice, it takes mastery. Why do you think all those Buddhas and that sat in caves for like millions of years? What do you think they were doing in there? Playing chess? No, they were mastering the art of stillness. I mean, even Buddha got it very wrong many times. And then he found enlightenment when he sat in the cave and basically sat in his Dantian, you know, and just being still, sat in his master cell. So that's where we got to move to. And the mind is going to go, but we need to do something. Oh, but we can't sit here. We've got too much to do in the day. But then that's the problem, you see, because the action comes from the inaction. When you detach from everything, complete freedom. So how do we do that? Well, you can't speak your way into detachment from the mind. You've got to just let it all go, pull your bath plug open and just let it fall through the funnel and just let it run. And you see what happens with pain. If you've got pain in the body, let it just, doesn't matter, just let it flow into that. Just get the energy running. Because what's happening is that pain in your shoulder, the emotional breakdown that you might be going through, I've always said this, even before the understanding of the Chinese philosophy and all of these other philosophies. Bottom line is, it's universal. When something is coming at you, bro, and it's like intense and it's in your face, then it's calling for transformation. It wants to be, it's like a soul retrieval. It wants to be transformed into this lower vibration energy, into the higher vibration. So it can be part of the new movement, the new you, the new earth, the stillness. Because that's the truth of what energy actually is. It comes from stillness. So it's really like you can't explain it too much because it's just a thing. You just got to get your ass on the ground, your hands on your Dantian or your master cell or your the womb or whatever way you want to look at it, and you've got to just go back to the beginning, and you've just got to sit and allow everything to just expand away from you because it's all just noise. The best analogy I can give is kind of like when you're sat in this still space, you let all thoughts just dissolve into that master cell and just let it run. And you're just still, and you'll just feel like space starts to create itself bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you find that you are stillness. And you can do this throughout the day where you actually just focus on that master cell. You focus on that quiet womb space. And that's your anchor, that's your true anchor. And you can be talking to somebody like I am you now. I'm anchored in. So yeah, so I think that's like an overview of this stillness, and I think I will actually play some meditations, so look out for that. I travel back to Cape Town this weekend, so I will do a nice meditation to accompany this video. So watch out for that. Hey, press like and subscribe. Is that what they say? Like and subscribe, and then you'll get the latest meditations ping up on your phone, and this will accompany this video, as I say. And that's basically where it's at. It really is. And then you will understand when action starts to occur from you doing absolutely nothing. That's a mind bender. But you see, there's a problem. It's the mind. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. Love and light, y'all. And thanks always for watching, listening, commenting as well. Got really cool conversations going on, which is so assistive for others, you know. Because the chances are, if you're asking a question, somebody else is thinking it. So yay, share away. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to say peace from Zimbabwe, and I will see you when I get to Cape Town.